2, 3, 4.
The growing things are mostly natives across this ridge. We're surrounded by California black walnuts.
I went on the Simpsons ride and I was not afraid of it.
We got peaches, nectarines, pears, plums, apricots, all of that stuff too.
I've seen people trip out, they come in here and say that, I haven't seen this since I was a kid,
I found a piece of America's dream. It was smaller than I thought, not quite what it seemed it went. So I gave it away and it came right back.
We are at Universal Studios. Going on some of the rides. Universal Studios opened in 1913. In 1915, they started charging people to watch movies they made. These days, it costs $74. In the Curious George room, there were balls and they could shoot at each other. I saw an earthquake, a overflood. I had the smoked turkey leg and it was huge. And chips, as you can see.
My father and his father, they've been farming here in San Fernando Valley. My grandfather started it years ago. I can't even remember I couldn't tell you how many years, but our main crop is sweet corn and tomatoes. We also have good strawberries. Now we usually carry a couple of goats and some chickens and some pheasants. We do have visitors per se, they want to do the standard stuff, Disneyland, San Diego Zoo and that kind of stuff, Universal Studios. Though the Reagan Library is pretty close and that's really neat.
How many stands are there like yours left in the valley?
I'm gonna say just 2.
Good morning, the big kid. I think that little kids can come in here and get just as much out of it as adults can. The broad spectrum is that idea of like the baby boomer era. We've got a lot of like Elvis figures, Jimmy Page figures, Beatles stuff, Rolling Stones. Being a musician, I'm always kind of scoping out the clubs, in that scene, and it's actually a really rad place right up in North Hollywood, CIA, the California Institute of Abnormal Arts. It's all set up like a circus freak show, but the aura in there is just fantastic. Right next door at Nat's, they have a great kind of down-home feel, comfort food kind of thing, great burgers over there. By night, I'm part of my main group is called LMNOP. Play a multitude of instruments on stage, and we build loops and we trade off on things, and we kind of create a full band sound just between the two of us. Fingers crossed, hoping to kind of break into the industry that way. We've been actually described as Simon and Garfunkel meets the Smashing Pumpkins, if you can picture that.
I don't think the valley is well understood. It still seems this foreign land to a lot of people on the other side of the hill. You're looking east this way into Burbank out there and Universal City. The San Gabriel's beyond, still with a little dusting of snow in some elevations. We estimate about 60,000 people come through the park in a year, and then we have our special guest as well. I'm reminded of Sir Paul McCartney, who visits us from time to time when he's in town, called it his sanctuary. A ton of good restaurants nearby. We happen to like Spark Wood Fire Grill down in Studio City. I know Mommy Burger just opened down there, which is great if you're into that, upscale burgers. Tree People tries to make this city a better place to live, and we've been doing it for 40 years now. Our focus is on inspiring, teaching, training people to take responsibility for their environment to make the city more sustainable. I always recommend the drive across Mulholland, but you've got to drive carefully. Don't go over that center line or you may be in trouble. And don't get too caught up looking at the view and not following the road.